Can you read it? Anybody spontaneously want to read it? A
Sir,
page
can you
from
present the page?
yes, presented here. Can you see it on screen? And also keep your textbook open, page number 52. In order to avoid screen time, better you read in the text. But for your convenience, I have just shared it on the screen. You can refer to that
Sir,
unless you
may I
have a
read?
textbook open. Yes,
Dearest Kitty, our entire class is quaking in its boots. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. Half the class is making bets. GL and I laugh ourselves silly at two boys behind us, CN and Jacques, who have staked their entire holiday savings on their bets. From morning to night, it's you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. Even these pleading glances and my angry outbursts can't calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth.
very good, Shreya. Thank you. So here, as we people do at the time of declaration of the result or when the teacher especially is going to hand over the answer books to you, you are more curious about others than yourself. And here, I would like to remind you one incident from Three Idiots movie. If you remember, when the result was declared, both of Rancho Das Chajets, Rancho's friends, they checked their names and they found their names at the bottom, the last one and the second last. But they did not find Rancho's name anywhere and they realized that Rancho failed. But was it the fact? No, they had not checked the top name. And whose was it? Whose was it? Have you
Rancho.
watched the movie?
Rancho.
Yes,
Rancho.
Rancho's name. And then there was a dialogue said by them that when we don't feel so sad when we are failing or our friends are failing, but when we are failing or when we are at the bottom and our friend is on the top, then it makes us feel more guilty for ourselves. That was something, the dialogue was there. You can also watch it and get it well so that you can understand what here Annie and her friends saying about each other. And you are being a student, are very familiar with this thing. So I will again read it for you so that you can understand it better way. Dearest Kitty, on 20th June 1942, it may be a result day for her class, and there, what discussion was going on between herself and her friends has been given here briefly. So our entire class is cracking in its boots. So cracking in its boots means taking with fear and nervousness. You know how we are nervous, no? When we are just checking our result or when we are just going to know our result. And that nervousness has been explained with a sentence that our entire class is quaking in its boots. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. Means who will fail and who will be promoted in the next class, that was going to be declared. And so everybody, was so nervous and also out of eagerness, out of their keenness to know the result, they were so nervous. Dear students, better you join the meet on time. Welcome, Miss Patel. You are so late. It disturbs, no? You better join when the link is being shared. So that time, out of that nervousness, what do they say each other? That is given here. Half the class is making bets, and they are just talking. I will pass. I will be promoted to the next form. Form means class or grade, you can say. That is a word at that time used in that country, Germany, and there half of the class is making bets. GN, it may be a short form of one of their friends, Gian and I laughed ourselves silly at two boys behind us. And here Anne says that she herself and one of her friends, they started laughing at two of the boys who were sitting just behind them, Cian and Jax. So what are their names? Cian and Jax, who have stayed their entire holiday saving on their bed. And they have also been waiting for others and speaking to each other, betting that he will pass or she will pass and all. So what do they exactly say? That is given here from morning to night. What was it? It's you are going to pass. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. And that way the bet and the discussion is going on between Cian and Jax. The two boys referred here to whom Gian and Anne were laughing themselves silly. Because of what one is sure that another one is going to pass, but not sure about himself. And the another one is also is not sure either he is going to pass or not. And so they say, you are going to pass. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. And that way the communication goes on. And that's why Gian and Anne started laughing at both of them. Even G's fleeting glances and my angry outburst can't calm them down. And even that Gian means her Anne's friend and herself, they were angry and they burst into the laughter, despite noticing that people around them were laughing and some of them were angry. But still, Cian and Jax, two of the boys, could not stop themselves. And they continued their conversation. And what was it? You are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. And that way, they are just fighting, we can say, betting each other. One sure about another that's going to pass, but the another one is not sure if he himself is going to pass or not. And here, at last, what she do? Let's see. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. And dear students, here now Annie put her own opinion about who should be promoted and who should not be. And she also predicted about the teachers. So what was her view about the class? That she says many students were there who were not at all eligible to be promoted. And what part she mentioned here? That about a quarter of the class, means 1/4 of the class should be kept back and should not be promoted in the next form, but should repeat in the same form. Means if there are 100 students, 25 should be kept back. They should not be promoted. They should repeat the same form in order to make themselves eligible to be promoted in the next form. But and it says that teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. You know why? Because whom you think should be failed, he or she passes, and whom you think that would be the topper sometimes fail or scores very less marks. And that's why here you can say teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Doesn't it happen, dear students, that you predict something about the teacher, but it fails? Whatever you think about the teacher is not exactly that you are going to be right. And mostly you are going to fail in your prediction. And so here Anne says that the teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Do you agree, dear students? What is your opinion? Are the teachers the most unpredictable creatures on earth? Put your opinion. This is Anne's opinion. What about you, Ayush?
No, sir.
No, teachers are not. As you predict, do the teacher behave the same and declare the result that way only? Share your example or instance, an experience. Anybody else? Hello. Are you all there, dear students? Shreya, Ayush, Muta?
Yes, sir.
So say something.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree or not?
Yes, sir.
What do you agree with? Yashovardhan?
They are unpredictable.
Who?
Teachers.
How? Yashovardhan, give an example. In your life, you can mention that in class 9, I predicted about so and so teacher, be it Ganesh sir, but it went exactly in opposite. And so I can say that the teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Yashovardhan, come on, say something. Or it didn't happen that you experience, but you just think that the teachers are the most unpredictable creatures, and so you agree. Yashovardhan, are you getting me? All right, you may be facing any problem. By the way, so I'm sure that you also agree with Anne that teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Let's see if she has mentioned some examples in support of this. I'm not so worried about my girlfriend and myself. We will make it. The only subject I'm not sure about is math. Anyway, all we can do is to wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. And you know, they are all worried about each other and, of course, themselves. But she says that she is not so worried about her girlfriends and about herself also. You know why? Because she is sure about herself as well as her friends that they are all going to be promoted in the next form and they won't be kept back in the same form. But she is only not sure about mathematics, the only subject that she had not done well in that form. And so she just decided that they should all wait and not lose their heart, hoping that they would all be promoted in the next form. And this way, they are all giving the assurance to each other that they will all be promoted and they will all be together in the next form and study well. But did it happen? Let's see what was the result. I get along pretty well with all of my teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. Mr. Casing, the old Fozzie who teaches math, was annoyed with me for ages because I talked so much. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework, an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. A chatterbox? What can you write about that? I'll worry about that later, I decided. I jotted down the title in my notebook, chucked it in my bag, and tried to keep quiet. And you know, dear student, she has given here one of the examples about her teachers, and who is none but Mr. Kissing, the mathematics teacher. And she has explained here about herself that there were 9 teachers teaching her in that form. 7 of them were men, and 2 of them were women. But today the scenario has changed. There are less number of men and more number of women. But here she mentioned about Mr. Casing that whenever he used to teach her mathematics, she was not much bothered about maths because we came to know that she had no more interest in the mathematics. And that's why she was not sure that she will be passed in the subject. And here, one more example, one more instance, she explains about Mr. Casing that he used to give her some extra homework. And you know what was it and why was it? It was nothing but writing an essay on the topic a chatterbox. And why was the topic given to her a chatterbox? Because she used to talk so much in the class. She was never found keeping quiet and listening to him and paying attention when he was teaching some examples from the mathematics. And that was the reason. After giving numbers of warnings, several warnings, here Anne did not listen to him and just went on speaking and talking so much in the class that the teacher used to be interrupted and disturbed. And so the teacher decided that the only way she could be kept quiet was to give her some extra homework. And what was the homework given? Writing an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. And now here Anne explained that what she decided to write and how she made it Let's see what she did. She simply, noted down the topic and put it in the notebook and was kept in a bag. And later, she tried to keep herself quiet, thinking about the topic, a chatterbox, about which she was going to write an essay, as it was given an extra homework because of talking so much in the class. But did it help Mr. Casing to keep Anne quiet? Let's see. That evening, after I finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words, but the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. I thought, and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote 3 pages Mr. Kelsing had assigned me and was satisfied. I argued that talking is a student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control, but that I would never be able to cure myself of the habit since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that there is not much you can do about inherited traits. And so interestingly, here Anne has explained her experience with Mr. Casey. And what she told that when she went back to home after the schooling was over, in the evening she finished with rest of her homework, all about her be it in mathematics or be it in English or be it in any other language she was studying that time. But at last she found and she remembered in a note that she had written that Mr. Kessing had given her a topic chatterbox to write an essay. And there, she now started thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of fountain pen, how the children do usually. And then, after thinking much, she came to the conclusion that she could easily just leave big spaces between the words and make 2 or 3 pages of an essay. But did she do so? No. One of the tricks came to her mind, convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. She thought, and using one idea, she wrote 3 of the pages with the topic chatterbox. And what she wrote, she focused on the need of speaking and talking much. And she also mentioned about her trait being a student that she can't control her habit of speaking. And one more reason she gave, and that was what that her mother also used to speak very much, and that trait has inherited from her mother to herself. And she says if she is not speaking more than her, and that was the reason, dear students, that she was talking much. So question for you: why did Anne talk much in the class, and what did the teacher, Mr. Casing, assign her a task? Please explain me here now. Answer yourself, dear students.
May I?
Yes, you can, please.
Annie talked much in the class because it was an inherited trait. Her mother also talked as much as her and more than her. And Mr. Casing assigned her a task to write an essay on chatterbox.
Very good, Shreya. Continue. Then what did Mr. Casing do to keep her quiet, and did his idea work? Anybody else?
He told her to write an essay on chatterbox topic, and his idea did not work as Annie gave many convincing arguments, and he was also convinced by
Very good.
those.
And then, do you think that Mr. Casing also stopped saying anything to her, and she was also talking in the class, and that was the end, or he did something extra? So, and put some more efforts in order to keep Anne quiet. What do you think might have happened later?
Again, Mr. Casing did some efforts to keep Annie quiet
Very
and
good, very good.
gave many punishments.
Absolutely. But writing an essay about the topic a chatterbox, Annie satisfied her teacher, Mr. Casey. And he now needed to think over for some other topic, some other solution in order to keep Anne quiet. Because his first attempt to keep her quiet failed because she wrote a very nice essay giving perfect reasons and the solutions under the title A Chatterbox. So what did he do? Let's see. Mr. Kissing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay. And you know, when she submitted her essay, Mr. Kissing was very happy and he started laughing at the arguments Anne had put before him because they were all interesting. You know, don't you also find this interesting that she says, my mother is talking much, so I am talking. I have been inherited with those traits from my mother, and that's quite natural and it cannot be controlled. This is one reason she said. And another one, being a student, that is a trait of a child to speak, and so she can't control it. This and the other way, she has tried to convince that she was right, that she was talking much in the class. And because of such of her arguments, Mr. Kissing laughed at her, but I was very happy listening to all of these things from her. But he also thought that Annie would keep quiet in his next class. But did it happen? No. She again proceeded to talk her way in the next lesson, and so Mr. Kissing assigned her a second essay. And what was it? This time it was supposed to be an incorrigible, means something that cannot be corrected, usually a bad quality. So incorrigible chatterbox. Firstly, it was just a chatterbox. Now this time the topic was little elaborated with an incorrigible chatterbox. I handed it in, and Mr. Kissing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he would finally had enough. And a Frank, as punishment for talking in class, write an essay entitled "Quack Quack Quack," said Mr. Chatterbox. And you know how funny way her teacher also giving her some interesting topics to write an essay, and she is also writing something such a way that teacher is satisfied, but she could only keep quiet for 1 or 2 lessons, but again she would start speaking and talking in the class and disturbing the class. And so, third time, Anne's teacher, Mr. Kissing, decided to give her something additional topic with chatterbox only. And what was the topic given this time? Quack, 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 said Mr. Chatterbox. So, whom do you think the teacher is addressing chatterbox as a chatterbox? Whom do you think?
Anne Frank.
Yes, absolutely. But she was
Anne
all the
Frank.
time successful, proving herself that it was really a need to speak. You know, there are also some chatterbox in our classes, aren't they? In 10th A and 10B. I won't name, but they are. And they are almost similar to Annie. And some such chatterbox are needed in the class. But our teacher, like Mr. Kissing, giving the homework? No, we ask you to do the same work that is needed and will be helpful for you. But let's see then here, did Anne stop writing essay or did teacher stop giving her the topic? That is going to be the end of this entry from her diary. Can you see there in the picture on page number 53? The arguments between her, Miss Anne, and her teacher, Mr. Kissing. How she is showing the essays written, and there they are both arguing with each other. How she was right, explaining that it was a need to speak, and how the teacher is trying to tell her that it was a really need in that time to keep herself quiet. And you can find that the rest of the class, other children, they are just enjoying, they are finding it more interesting and laughing at both of them. The angry face of the teacher and depressed and nervous Annie. Can you see in that picture clearly their expressions on their faces? Yes or no, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
now here is the description given about the picture. The class roared. Roared means they all started laughing. I had to laugh too,
sir.
though I had nearly.
Sir.
Yes, somebody wanted to say something. Shruti Bhujbal? Shruti, are you getting me? Alright. So all of the students in the class started laughing, and so Annie,
Yes, sir.
thinking that she would nearly exhausted her ingenuity on the topic of chatterboxes. Because what was the first topic given to write an essay? Just a chatterbox. Secondly, an incorrigible chatterbox. Thirdly, quack, 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 said Mr. Chatterbox. And this way here, Annie realized that she had now exhausted all her ingenuity on the topic of chatterboxes. And so, what was this time going to happen? Let's see. It was time to come up with something else, something original. My friend Sani, who is good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in verse, and I jumped for joy. Mr. Kissing was trying to play a joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him. And this way the competition began between Annie and her teacher, Mr. Kissing. That either he is going to be getting tired giving her topics, or Annie was going to be tired writing the essays. But what happened at last? When thirdly the topic was given, quack, 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 said Mr. Chatterbox, Annie could not find something interesting to be written in the essay. And so her friend helped her. And what did she do this time? She composed a poetry. And Mr. Kissing was trying to joke, giving such topics to Annie. We also, the teachers do like this. You have well experienced it in the classes. But here you can see how the teacher, Mr. Kissing, trying to make fun so that Annie should realize herself that she should stop speaking. But neither she has stopped speaking, nor Mr. Kissing has stopped giving her the topic. But this time really Annie realized that she won't be able to write anymore. So what did she do? She took help from one of her friends. And her friend offered her the essay in the form of verse, in the form of poetry. And they made the poetry so interesting and so funny that the joke was going to be with teacher, not with Annie. So how did it end? Did the teacher get angry with her after writing such ridiculous subjects and in such a funny way, or something went wrong? That we are going to see now. I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings who were beaten to death by the father because they quacked too much. And dear students, now hear the paraphrase in the form of prose. The poetry, the verse has been given here briefly. So what was the verse written about? What was the poem composed by her friend and Annie? That is given here. And it was all about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings who were beaten to death by father because they quacked too much. And as quack, quack, quack. What is it? It is about a duck, because duck makes that sound that is called as quack. And so Annie and her friend has composed a poem about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings who were beaten to death by the father. Means swan beaten them to death because they were making so much of noise, always saying quack, quack, quack. And it was so troubling to the father that he finally decided to bite them to death. Luckily, Mr. Kissing took the joke the right way. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments and to several other classes as well. And here Mr. Kissing, the mathematics teacher, took this poem in a healthy way, in a positive way, and just to create humor in the class. You know how boring the mathematics lectures are, just about some formula and their solutions. Those who are interested find interest. Otherwise, those who don't understand, it makes no difference at all to them, and so they get tired and bored. And just to get out of it and to create some humor in the class, Mr. Kissing took the joke the right way and he read the poem to that class wherein Annie was studying, and also added his own some comments to make more humor and make some jokes in the class, and also to some other classes where he was teaching. And after that, what happened? Did the relation between Anne and her mathematics teacher, Mr. Kissing, improved or faltered? That's what we are going to see here now. What happens with you, dear students, when the teacher is you and you are trying to prove yourself that you are right? What happens? Does it take place in a healthy way, or does the teacher take you in a wrong way? What is your experience about your teachers? Anybody wanted to share? Not compulsorily, spontaneously if you want. Any such experience? I think you may have many instances with our former chemistry teacher, Pratik Ahir sir. Would you like to share?
Yes, sir. He always takes in wrong way.
Any more examples? I know everything, but I won't share. I want you to share if you want. Otherwise, if you have understood, can we proceed with the next experience from Anne and her mathematics teacher? All right. I understood that you have also understood and you want me to proceed with the next. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and have not been assigned any extra homework. And it was the last time that she was asked to write an essay about quack, 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 said the chatterbox or like that something or the topic. And she composed a verse with the help of one of her friends in such a humorous way. They wanted actually to make the fun of the teacher, but the teacher took the joke very right way and he created the humor, and he also now started understanding Anne, and that day onward, since then, he never gave any extra homework to Anne, nor he stopped Anne from speaking, and she was allowed to talk without giving any extra work. And this way, the relation between Anne and her mathematics teacher, Mr. Kissing, improved. On the contrary, Mr. Kissing always making jokes these days, and a man who was always very serious, never wanted children to talk anymore, started making fun and making jokes with the students. That was the impact of Anne's writing continuously about the topic related to chatterbox. Anne did not change herself, but the teacher had to change herself or himself, Mr. Kissing himself. And he himself realized that students should be given freedom to speak and we should listen to them sometimes. It should never happen that only the teacher speaks and children listen. But someday it should happen that the student should speak and the teacher should listen. It should be an interactive session between the teacher and the students. And dear students, teachers are not now the teachers, but they are facilitators, because they can't teach you. It's up to you how you learn, and whenever you find difficulty, teachers should facilitate you and take ahead. That's what our modern education says from CBSE point of view. I'm sure that you have enjoyed this lesson very well, and we have also learned many more things on the occasion of this Teachers' Day. It was just 2 days before, isn't it? So it was all about Anne and her schooling days, why she started writing diary and all. I think I have taken few more minutes from your next lecture that is going to be started within 2 minutes. So dear students, that's it for today. Any more queries, any more doubts, please share with me, or may I end the session?
Understood, sir.
Very good. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you.